If you're ready to find your path to success or take the success you're enjoying to the next level, stay tuned. Successful Living with Bill Napick is on right now.
Welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Napick, and today, Successful Living with a fun group, and we're going to go forth with the Successful Living shows, and we're going to actually have a category. Today, we have a brand new category, Successful Living for Singles in Houston. That's right. Your host today, I am single. I've been single for quite a while, but I wanted to get the perspective of people that are single, and we even have someone that has a matchmaking service, we'll call it. It's called Selective Search, and we are going to start with Robin French. She is the Senior Vice President of a company called Selective Search, so she has a very unique perspective helping people get together. Robin French, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Super awesome. This is first of all, from a profession standpoint, to be able to match people together right there, that is a unique thing and must be fun along the way.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So let's tell people first about your company.
Feeds the caretaker in me, that's for sure. My company, Selective Search, is an offline boutique luxury matchmaking firm.
So this is not the online
Completely
dating,
offline.
which there is so much today here in 2000.
100% discreet, super confidential, and no one has access to your information.
So you have, kind of like the movie Taken, a special set of skills, and I'm sure you use all of them all the time to bring people together. Let's tell people how the service works.
Well, so the company was founded by Barbie Adler, and she was a headhunter, an executive recruiter in her late 20s, I believe, when she came up with the idea that if headhunting or executive recruiting works in the professional sector, why wouldn't that work for somebody's personal life? So she gave birth to our firm. So our process, we call it our Meet Your Future process. It combines executive recruiting and personal matchmaking. So, process, because of it, we have an 87% success rate.
87. Those are high numbers right there, Robin.
They're good
87%. And the other thing, here we are in Houston, Texas. It is certainly at least the fourth largest city. Some people are saying it's surpassing that, being the third largest city in the United States. So any way you slice the numbers, that means there's a lot of singles here in Houston.
There are.
And there's a fair number that want to meet other people.
It's the reason I'm here.
There you are.
I started in Chicago, which is our headquarters, 15 and a half, almost 16 years ago. And at some point, I was traveling back and forth, Texas to Chicago every week. And then we just realized that at some point I needed to be here. And so Texas is our strongest market.
I would think. And there's people arriving every day in certainly Houston, Texas, but all around the state.
Right.
Let's tell people about the person that would sign up with your service and how it works and how long does it take? I bet someone comes to you and says, okay, Robin, I'm in. I want to find that right person. And from that point, how do you go about the search?
Well, there's two different types of memberships. You can be a paying client, where we're obligated to match you, or you can be a non-paying, what we call, it's our complimentary affiliate program. So paying clients, those memberships start from anywhere to 25 to 50,000. Mind you, it's a custom search.
Of course.
So this isn't a dating site or, we take this very seriously. Our cost is a function of our results.
Well, let's tell people also, before the show, you said how many years you've been with the company. So it's successful. You're with the company how long?
Almost 16 years. So we've been in business 20 years.
If you were to say approximately the people that you've matched together in these 16 years, how many?
Oh, Lord.
Many.
Oh, gosh, thousands and thousands. I have interviewed thousands of men and thousands of women. So I've got a pretty good handle on what the dating climate is like out there. I heard a lot of stories.
Indeed. Let's tell people, speaking of the dating climate in Houston, let's tell people your perspective on that.
Well, it's just difficult out there. First off, it's hard to find quality people. I'm sure you ladies, Thelma and Louise, would agree.
That's right. And for those that we haven't introduced, we do have two single ladies. We're going to hear about their perspective, and we're going to call them Thelma and Louise. They're coming up.
Yeah.
But
so if you don't do the bar scene, which you shouldn't, right? And you don't fish off the company pier at work, which you shouldn't or
the
can't.
company pier at work. That's a great.
So, I mean, where are you going to meet these people? We are working longer hours, and then add to that, we're always on our phones or on our computer, and we're just not meeting people. We're just not connecting out there. We're limited on time, and we're limited on access and quality. So what we do in the regular world, the non-selective search, is we're out there stumbling and fumbling around, right, trying to meet someone. We randomly meet someone and we go, oh, well, I'm kind of attracted to them, and then we head down that path, right? So now you're going to do your own due diligence. You're going to spend 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months dating them, only to discover that they had a couple of the qualities that you like, but they didn't have all of them. But then a lot of us just end up staying in it too long. If they're beautiful or handsome or great in bed, or they're fine until something better comes along, that's how we date outside of selective search. And it's not working. It's all the false starts and the misrepresentation.
So it sounds like in your process for the people that are in your service, it
Yes.
sounds like you line up the various categories.
Correct.
So that, and that is exactly right. We find different things. We meet people and we like some things about them, and then we like others, and sometimes we stay around because of the things we like. And then as far as getting married or more serious, then we say, oh, well, we'll have to end this. One of the two people say it.
Exactly.
So how do you determine these categories
Good
of,
question.
I would think, financial and,
No,
and
it's a good
chemistry?
question.
Go ahead.
So let's say it's Bill. And Bill calls up.
Some
and
guy
he
named
said-
Bill.
Yeah, some guy named Bill calls up and he said,
A
hey,
radio
Robin,
host
tell
named
me
Bill.
about
Okay, yeah.
tell me about selective search, right?
Right.
So, which, by the way, if you want to hear about selective search, dial 866-592-1200. Or you can email us, info@selectivesearch.com. So I would tell him who we are and what we do and how we do it, right? And if he likes what he hears, we will schedule a face-to-face meeting. I want to meet him in person, him or her. And we'll do an hour and a half, 2-hour interview just to understand him or her, their world, their lifestyle, which is really important, what makes them tick. And then after that meeting, they walk away and sleep. Then I also educate them more about the firm, show them some of the tools that we use. And it's just it's a due diligence meeting, a little bit of a sniff test on both sides just to see how it feels, right? But face-to-face, definitely. And then after that meeting, we circle back with each other the next day. I talk to the team and see if this is a search that they feel that we should take on. If we do take on the search, what happens is this. At some point, they are assigned to a matchmaker. And that matchmaker is pulling from 2 different pools, our paying clients and our non-paying complementary affiliates, right? If you're a paying client of selective search, you're allowed to be selective. You're literally telling us, okay, this is the age range, this is the height range, this is the education level, this is religion. Correct. Here's my deal breakers. And again, if we won't take on the search, if we don't think we'll have success with the search.
I like the idea. So there's a category called deal breakers. I love that because the deal breakers can be, it depends on the person. They could be very
Smoking,
lengthy. Smoking
cats,
is one right there.
Tattoos.
Children.
Yeah, small children. There's,
All kinds of things.
Yeah, political views. That's huge right now. A lot of our,
Likes the wrong baseball team.
Yeah, I don't hear that much. But
Well,
You will hear.
okay,
Like the Rangers are out.
all right, so let's tell people once again, the phone number is,
it is 866-592-1200.
and your website is?
www.selectivesearch.com.
Okay, so now let's officially introduce. We have 2 ladies here that are single in Houston, and we're our perspective for the 4 of us right now, I would say, is we are talking about singles over 40, we'll just call it. And we'll call them Thelma and Louise are right here. So let's start with Thelma. As far as your perspective, you're here in Houston, Texas for some time. What is it like being a single woman over 40 in Houston? What's some of your experiences or insights, Thelma?
It has not been good.
Okay.
It is, I'm having more fun with my girlfriends because they are fun to go out with, but I have not met, I really haven't met any men.
That are close to your...
Yeah, I mean,
What
it's
you're
just
looking
like,
for.
do I have warts on my face? Which there's nothing wrong with warts on my face. I mean,
You
but
don't.
I don't. I am over 40-ish. I think what I find is a lot of the men around my age are looking for those women who are like 20 years younger, maybe no kids, I don't want to say superficial and fake, but that's what they're looking for.
And by the way, I'll
Superficial and fake.
mention to people, we are on radio, so everyone in this room is very attractive, by the way. So the warts on the face, that is not even close.
I covered them before I came in.
Okay, that's not even close. But so what you're saying, Thelma, is that there are challenges out there to find the right person. And how long have you been single? Let's tell people.
Well, this is my second go-around of being single, and it is 4 years.
4 years. Okay, so now we have Louise, we'll call her. And Louise also is very attractive. Louise, let's tell people a little bit of your perspective right here in Houston, Texas, the fourth largest city, being a single woman out and about.
My favorite city, by the way.
It is.
I'm fairly new, so less than 6 months.
As far as being single.
Right, exactly. And I just have to say it's been interesting and, just kind of feeling my oats and trying to figure it out. But thank goodness for my girlfriends and my children and the activities that we can do in the meantime.
Well, let me ask you this, Louise, and that is in your mind, or maybe you even have gone to the length where you write it down or have written it down. Do you have things that you're looking for in your mind? Should you, and I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're looking to find the right guy, right? But do you have things that you're looking for as far as deal breakers and things that you're looking for?
Again, deal breakers would probably be somebody who smokes.
For sure.
Somebody who likes the Texas Rangers.
Right.
Or Atlanta Braves. No, but honestly, I think I'm looking for what everybody else is looking for. Someone who's honest and, has a decent job and likes kids and wants to be a family and wants all that happy stuff.
And Thelma, let's ask you this similar question. As far as in your mind, do you have an idea of kind of the things that you're looking for as far as the categories in life for a guy?
I think it's pretty much the same thing. I like somebody who makes me laugh. I
Humor's
like
so
to
important.
laugh, and I would like somebody who wouldn't mind going to church every once in a while with me. I'm a big college football person, so I love sports. I love the beach. I love the mountains. I love to travel. I just, I'm an all-around fabulous person, but
You certainly are, yes.
But that's okay. I'm enjoying my life now, which I think is the most important thing single people can do out there, is to enjoy your life now, be in the moment, being present.
True.
I am one of those old-fashioned people. I believe in meeting people the old-fashioned way, which obviously both times didn't work for me.
You never know what's going to work.
But I did just go on a dating site for 1 month.
Right.
And it was a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, that's a
just-
whole nother topic, the dating
Yeah.
sites.
Yeah.
You think that that's the one, and there's no response. So it is very challenging out there. I think it's easier for the younger people, to be honest with you, 20s and 30s,
To be on the
to be single and
on
to
the
find
apps?
people on the apps.
Well,
But
I will say
think
this about the
challenge for
dating
older
sites, and
ones.
I've had some experience on that. Part of the job of the dating site, I think, is that a lot of people aren't for real. There's the scammers,
Right.
and I would say
There's a reason we're in business.
that's why Selective Search is commanding a tremendous
www.selectivesearch.com.
selectivesearch.com.
Can I pay in
Yeah.
installments?
Yes, that's called your credit card.
So, but there's all kinds of ways to meet people, and actually, I can think of, and as you're talking about, Robin, where all the things don't line up. I do remember a relationship, and it was a long-running one for me, and one I really enjoyed. But that was, as Thelma is saying, I met this woman just out and about in business, and it worked for a long time until it didn't. So,
Can we talk about why it ended? Or wait,
Well, it varies.
why would you say it ended? Why would she say it ended?
well, that's a good question because it goes back to what you were saying earlier. It's that we stayed in it for a variety of reasons, and as far as when it was time to be married, there were certain things that were the list of deal breakers. But because the other things were so strong, and I'm going to guess that not just all of us in this room can identify with that, but the people listening that are single, that are or are not on dating sites, probably know the same thing. I mean, how many times do you hear, and the three of us can answer, how many times do you hear about the relationships that is the on and off again relationship? Robin?
Oh, I hear daily.
That's almost like a condition.
It is. It's like a disease.
The sickness, yes.
There you go.
It is.
Fella.
I hear a lot of my
Very
girlfriends are doing
toxic.
that, like 4 or
Yeah.
5
Cycle.
years on and off.
And it might be like the thing as Thelma is describing, where you try, and then you're like, well, let me just go back to this other person. because at least you know certain things there. So it's fascinating. Go ahead.
I was reading a quote yesterday, and I don't know if I've got this right, but it was something along the lines of, you can't reach for what's in front of you if you don't let go of what's behind you.
Good point.
So, part of being a member of Selective Search is helping them break some bad dating habits. And maybe it is, for a lot of people, they have been in situations like that where they're like, you know what? I'm not going to look in the rearview mirror anymore. I'm looking out the windshield, and I'm not going back. And once you're committing to 25,000, 50,000, whatever it is, 100,000, and these searches can go even higher than that. Once someone's committed to that, they've got serious skin in the game. They're serious about finding a life partner, a husband, a wife. Those who are online and doing the swiping, I always say this separates the mattress-minded from the marriage-minded or the relationship-minded. There's a lot of players out there online, just scammers, and that's why we do our due diligence before taking on anyone as a client.
I mean, I guess background checks and all these things that happen as far as the people
they
that
have
are
to sign a contract. Yeah, we check their before I even meet with them. I've got an assistant who does our own little light background check to make certain that there's someone that I should even meet with. So,
okay, well, let's hit this point too. As far as people know, I'm single here, and as I look at life, being single, I think I'm very happy that I'm in the city that I'm in, because if you're going to be single, Houston is not a bad place to be. There's tons of things to do, and as you said, Thelma, there's a lot of things that we can do with our friends. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of restaurants, so many great things here.
True.
So let's get on a positive note before, as we have about 5 minutes left. Thelma, as far as you look out there into the dating world, there has to be some things where we're optimistic about it. And on the bright side, what have you found about being single, and what are you enjoying about being single until you find that right person?
Okay, I'll remain positive.
Remain positive.
Remain positive. What I like about being single is, like I said before, I really enjoy my girlfriend time. I didn't have that when I was married.
Yeah.
And I do have a son, so we do a lot of things with our kids together, and they're all older. They're in high school, and so when they want to be seen with us, it is fun to do some things with them. I enjoy my alone time. I'm one of those that goes to the movies alone and eats a very large bag of popcorn with butter, but not all the time.
Sounded pretty good, yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of positive things, and it's my time. But if I ever get in another relationship, this is my time to come back to me, because I lost me when I was married. So this is my time.
And Louise, what is your take on optimism as you're single, as you look ahead to, and actually here we are, think about this, we're at the end of 2019, 2020, who knows what these next months of holidays and meeting people are going to bring to all of us.
And the playoffs.
And the playoffs. So
Astros, yes.
You might very well meet somebody that's involved in sports, right?
Exactly. So I think, I think dating is, been interesting and probably a little difficult, especially as Thelma said, at, our age, 40 plus. But I think, that we do live in Houston, and there's so much to do. And there's so many great people, and this is a great city.
It's a fun city.
Yeah, it's a fun city. It's a great city. It's my favorite city. So I think there's a lot of positive out there, and I think we have, in the meantime, I don't think either one of us is desperate, but I think we have a lot of opportunities out there to meet the right person.
And I will say this, as we talk about age being 40 plus for all of us in this room, as far as I know, that is, at this point in time, we do have a little extra wisdom about us. So I think that's very heartening. Robin, before we close out the show, what else would you like people to know about your company or single life or anything else?
Well, again, there's the paying client program or the complimentary affiliate program. Of course, we're obligated to match those who are paying clients. And added value to it. I was thinking about, Louise, when you were talking about being newly single. Another added value to our memberships, too, are that when you're coming out of a long-term relationship, newly divorced, newly widowed, fresh out of a long-term relationship, you haven't been dating for a really, really long time, right? So there's a skill set that sometimes we need
That
to
is
be
a good
taught.
point, yes.
So that we can get back out there again and not stumble and fumble around too. Also, just little things too. Like I teach a lot of my single girlfriends how to flirt because sometimes we forgot how to flirt.
And let me go on record saying that I'd love to be the recipient of any flirt, just in case anybody cares. So if people want to reach out to you, Robin, let's tell them the coordinates once again.
Okay, so you can call us at 866-592-1200. You can email me directly, Robin, R-O-B-I-N, at selectivesearch.com. But definitely go to our website. It's a great website. We just threw a fresh coat of paint on it last week, www.selectivesearch.com.
And before we close out the show, Thelma, what would you like people to know?
I'm getting my credit card out right now for Robin.
There you go. Or have Mr. Wright pay for it. I don't know how that's arranged.
Well, if you would have been on camera, girl, we could have maybe had some callers, some live callers.
And then Louise, what else should we know?
Go Stros.
Go Stros. So there, I like that. There are so many women that love sports. So there you go.
Go Tigers.
There's a lot of opportunities
and
out
guys
there.
love that.
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. As far as, and Thelma and Louise, when you go out, should you be out with your girlfriends? Are there any go-to places that you like? That are more favorite than others, let's say. Let's tell people about that.
Well, I do like places that don't look like I'm out looking for a guy, if that makes any sense.
Which would be like,
Good girl.
what does that look like?
Well, we do go to North a lot because
That's
it's
a great place,
fun,
exactly.
good food, love the vibe. I love the Palm because to me it's very retro and vintage. I love that.
I do too.
Mexican places are great.
El Tiempos.
So I mean, fun places like that.
They're more casual.
Yeah, if you see somebody and they may come over and say, "Ooh, don't I know you from somewhere?"
I have a feeling there may
Like
be
we did to
I
you that
guess
night.
we saw. I met Thelma and Louise at the Palm, but there may be a guy out there or two that are at these places, and they're going to say, "Are you Thelma? Are you Louise?" Because these are just radio names for today, right? So that's super fun.
Yeah.
Robin, what were you going to say before we close
No,
up?
I was just going to say that when you're out and about, too, there's just little tips and little things that you can do to kind of change that up. When you arrive, get there first, but don't just come in and sit down and wait for your girlfriends. Walk in, walk around that restaurant like you are looking for your girlfriends, even though you're really not. And then, you know what? Do it again, too, because you have just let the world know that every single man in that room he knows that you have arrived. Just little tiny things that you can change up to get some extra attention.
There you go. That was Robin French with Selective Search, selectivesearch.com. Thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Bill Nampick. And today,
Thank
Robin,
you.
Thelma, and Louise. And this is our singles edition. We're going to have this again coming up in a few weeks. So thank you for listening. Go to radiobill.net. Look for Thelma and Louise. You'll never know who they are, but they may be out there.
Ask
Thank you,
us.
ladies. Just ask them, and they'll show you their ID. Until next week, thanks for listening. Until then, radiobill.net.